An idea whose time has come. It appears nothing can stop the Tinubu presidency. The Federal High Court, sitting in Abuja, has struck out the suit filed by 5 residents of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, seeking to stop the 2023 presidential inauguration. The resident had prayed the courts to halt the inauguration on the grounds that President Bola Tinubu did not secure 25% of the votes cast in FCT. Delivering the ruling, Justice Eko found the suit as unprofessional, reckless, frivolous, and lacking complete knowledge of elementary principle of law. The court fined the lawyer the sum of 20 million naira. Judy, this is another abuse of court process.
Very responsible case, brought up. When the judge said it showed a lack of elementary knowledge of the law, this lawyer should have known that you can only challenge the emergence of a president-elect if you took part in the election. You didn't take part in the election, you cannot
So
sue.
you don't have the locus.
You have no locus. It's just like you getting up one day and say, okay, I don't like the fact that Sanwo-Olu has emerged. Let me go to court to challenge Sanwo-Olu. Why?
You must be a participant.
You must have contested with him in that election. So when some people come together and say they are residents of Abuja, since when did you become residents of Abuja? People who are born there, people who own the land, they are not the ones who say they are suing, no. And if any lawyer gathers people for reasons best known to him, that lawyer must know that he must operate within the ambit of the law. We are not lawyers, but we know some of these things. I've been saying this thing.
If you've been covering judiciary, if you've been monitoring cases, you will understand these things.
I've never covered the judiciary.
But you've been an editor,
but I ask questions.
Editor of people covering judiciary.
Yes, I ask questions.
Yes.
All the time I ask questions. I know that, and I said it on this program that it was a waste of time because they didn't take part in the election. They have no right to sue.
It is Peter Obi.
Yes,
that is asking the question at the tribunal. That is a valid person.
And Atiku
Abubakar,
who can challenge the emergence of this person. So to go to court and say, okay, if somebody does not have 25%, when you did not contest against him, you did not lose to him. If you lost to him, you can challenge the manner in which the election went, and you can say, okay, I feel wronged, I feel offended, I feel cheated. Lawyers should know some of these things. But deliberately, just as Libero said on one of our programs, senior lawyers coming on air to mislead Nigerians, to say, no, you must have this, you cannot be president if you do not have it, just because they don't like the person who has emerged. And then they join little minds in saying what makes absolutely no sense. Because this is the season when people simply just demonstrate their anger about reality.
Now this judgment is not even going into the merit of the case. He's saying that you don't have...
They will not. Why would the judge go into the merit of a case? That the judge knows that even he does not have jurisdiction on the matter. The matter is before what's it called? It's before the tribunal already. So the lawyer, the judge, did not sit. He said he was...
he went on course. Yes, I remember.
Even if he sat, it would have been the same outcome.
Yes.
So all of the noise, he stayed away
that day,
because they didn't want...
Yes, they were accusing him that day because he stayed away, and the lawyer was ranting after the court.
Now, you see, now he's been fined 20 million.
Yes, for that action.
He has, if he finds it difficult to pay this 20 million, he has to first seek the leave of the court to appeal.
I think there's even a disciplinary action.
Yeah. No, but the lawyer was saying it. Now, I'm heading somewhere. He has to seek the leave of the court to challenge this 20 million. Do you think this same lawyer, this same judge that you've been abused, you go before his court to say, please, this 20 million is too much, sir. What can you do for me over this 20 million, sir? Somebody that you have abused in the press in the most reckless and irresponsible manner. I've said it that some of the lawyers need to be disciplined. I don't know what really is the problem. If you are filing frivolous cases, just to waste the time of the court, just to whip up sentiment within and heat up the polity, then they need to do something about you. That was not a case. You can't bring that kind of matter. Some days to the inauguration.
Yes, Wale, I remember the verdict was meant to come from, I think, a Friday before the inauguration, and the court did not sit. So the lawyer went on the free-for-all, saying all sorts of things. Yeah. People were around him and everything. I remember.
You know, we sought one of the prayers that, the President Buhari's tenure should be extended. A
court.
And you now ask yourself, a lawyer, you are calling for annulment of the Constitution because the Constitution is clear. If there's an election, the person in power will hand over to President-elect. And the court said, apart from the issue of jurisdiction, that this same case is before the election petition
tribunal.
There are all sorts of people that are just looking for publicity stunt, coming up with all sorts of frivolous cases. And I think I like the courage of that judge. This is what other judges do abroad. If they impose sanctions on you, next time you'll be very careful.
Yes, so that if
he appeals this case,
your clients that this
maybe his fine will be doubled. Because there are so many cases, we are saying that judiciary is not effective and all that because there are so many frivolous cases. People just come with sorts of things that are not.
And lawyers will not advise their clients.
And they know that this thing will not go anywhere. But just because they are looking for cheap publicity, they just come with all sorts of, So I think this should be a lesson to lawyers who are seeking publicity, trying to ride on the horse of the electoral circumstances to just bring themselves into, fame. I think it's a very good lesson, and I hope other lawyers will learn from it so that next time, and he has referred it to the Legal Practitioner Disciplinary Committee. We should be doing such things. If you are, they should be disciplined. It should be disciplined. If not, other lawyers will do the same thing next time and file all sorts of cases just because you want to, divert attention to yourself. So I think I love the courage of that judge, and I hope this will serve as a precedent to other, lawyers who know the right thing but decided to, avoid it.
From what Wale just said, Najide, how come some people will just go to court to feel that the courts can just do the impossible? When you are saying part of the relief you are seeking is Muhammadu Buhari that was tired already, that wanted to hand over in a hurry to go back to Dara. They are still telling him to stay. And you think that court can sit there and stop saying Muhammadu Buhari?
How can Buhari, you see, what is there really common sense in this? How can Buhari stay a day longer without an alteration to the Constitution? The Constitution has also stipulated, has stipulated a number of days that he can be in office. And there's no room for any form of abeyance. It gives no room for it.
At all.
No room for it.
Normally.
It stipulates when he has to go back home. And you are now saying that, okay, he should stay because you are looking for, you hate Tinubu so much that you are badly looking for inauguration. You are looking for interim government.
Yes.
Some of you went to kneel down to beg soldiers that they should come and take over. People who were in their diapers when people were being killed under the military rule. You've never seen military rule in your lives. You sheepishly went seeking for military rule, asking for you don't know what you don't know about. It's just like the woman who was screaming, help me, help me, help me. If they carry me, they go where I don't know. That's exactly what it is. Do you know what military rule is? Do you know? Even in Egypt,
that was the cheapest idea.
When they faced, when the Muslim Brotherhood faced military rule, you saw what Al-Sisi did to them. Even in the end, their leader died. People don't know what you are talking about. You want military rule. Have you been under military rule before? I looked at the pictures of those delusional people who went to the defense headquarters, and I saw, look at these ones. Look at these ones. When we were fighting for this civil rule, with some of our people losing their lives, Bagauda some ran mad in detention. Where were they?
We can tell them
Where were they? We had friends who lost their lives. We had friends who ran mad in detention. We have people like Kunle Ajibade ended up in Makurdi prison for a story that I wrote.
Till tomorrow.
Where were they?
Till tomorrow.
You see, one day we were discussing. He told me, some people don't know what prison is. So my boss, Kunle Ajibade, was telling me. I can't say some of what he told me here. You know? And my father still reserves a place in his heart for him, because he knows that it is the prison that his son should have gone to that this editor went to.
You wrote that story?
I was the one who called the story. So my father, every time my father will ask, how is Kunle Ajibade? How is Kunle Ajibade? Because he knows that he went to jail for my sake. In a military rule.
They don't want
and a bunch of delusional people will go and be asking for civil rule because they don't like the person who won an election that he won hands down. So what are we talking about? Unless they begin to punish lawyers who go to waste the time of the court, this thing will not stop. And the punishment should even go beyond fine.
Yeah.
Some of them, if they've shown that they do not desire to practice the profession anymore, they need to be shown the door. It's as simple as that.
Okay, another one down there. More to go.